How you doing? My name's Kellen. I'm your class counselor. Uh, here that you want to talk about some stories with me? I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. I've had some concerns lately, and it's been recommended by some friends that I come and talk to a professional. Um, this is about people I know that might die.
Okay.
Also, people telling me that I might die. Uh,
Oh.
Also, people telling me that I might not die, but that I might lose limbs.
Mhm.
Also, people referring to something happening to me potentially called pink mist.
Oh.
I'm concerned for the pink mist as a
Okay.
potential, life outcome. So, is this things? Is there things I tell you about other people? Is that going to go beyond you and I?
No. This is we're protected under HIPAA law, so our conversation here is private. The only thing that I'd actually talk to anyone about is with my supervisor if I'm confused on something or where to go, or if you're going to hurt yourself or hurt someone else. I'd be obligated to tell my supervisor, and he'd be the one handling that issue then, and
Yeah.
I'd step away. But
Yeah.
anything else, we're staying in the house. It's not going anywhere else.
Well, there's a chance I'm going to hurt someone else. There's a chance I'm going to rip their arms off, possibly their head.
Why are you smiling when you're telling me this? This seems like a serious topic.
Well, it would be totally an accident.
Oh, okay, all right, there we go.
Strictly accidental.
Mhm.
Maybe I smile out of nervousness for it being a potential. For clarification, I'm talking about when people have mid-air collisions skydiving.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens, and I've had some close calls, definitely. I've had several times I get kicked in the head. Sometimes someone will knock my head into the doorway on exit. Other times, we'll be in a free fall together, and I'll think they're my friend, and then they'll kick me in the head.
Just on purpose, or is this accidental?
Well,
She left, Dog.
what?
She left.
I think accidental.
Accidental.
I don't think there's anything I did to upset them that much. Other times, I'll somebody will burble me.
Verbal. What was verbal?
So we'll both be in free fall, and we'll both be going, roughly 120 miles an hour on our bellies.
Wow.
And someone will fly over me, so that they go into the void of clear air, where they would be able to fly and maneuver their body into the air. And once they get into that burble, they drop through the void of dead air right onto my back, and they hit me, at several miles an hour faster than I'm going, and they knock me unstable. But then I get stable again.
Does that hurt when that happens, or how does that feel?
It can hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Knowing that they decided to just stomp on me while we're in the sky. I always think the sky is a safe place.
Yeah.
But those are just slights, and I can let them pass. People do things like that. The concern of the pink mist is that when people have too high of a closing or approach speed on each other, say people are on two different skydives, but they enter each other's airspace,
Okay.
and say one is going 100 miles an hour one way and one's going 100 miles an hour the other way, and they clip each other, supposedly a limb or a part of them can just become vaporized and turn to pink mist. And so that's where the expression comes from.
Has that happened before?
Hasn't happened to me yet, that I know of.
Yeah, you look like you have all your limbs, so that's a good thing.
But yeah, it does happen to people, and they lose limbs. Also, sometimes if you have the right angles, or maybe you can consider the wrong angles, a person will fly in such a manner that their head will enter the torso of the other person, and then they will continue through that person's body out the back of them, potentially injuring both parties.
You're laughing telling me this, and this seems very serious, and I'm kind of worried for you right now. This is an activity that you partake in, and there's a lot of danger. How do you prevent the danger, or how do you overcome that danger?
Well, I try to stay aware. I try to look to my left and look to my right.
Okay.
Also ahead. And we do good communication before we get on the plane. Talk about what different people's fall rates are going to be, what the different groups of people jumping together are going to be, so that we stay safe.
Okay.
And also within the industry, talking like this is our way of planning for, preparing for this stuff to not happen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the best phrasing, but it helps us to respect that there's some danger to what we're doing, even if we don't see injuries very often or even ever. So,
Have you yourself been injured at all?
I haven't. I've had a couple hard landings, but that's when I was like a student and I was still learning about flaring at the right time. Hard landings are something that other people do where they're most likely to get injured. When people hear about skydiving and deaths, it almost always is experts taking extra risks on landing, including doing what's called swoop landings, where you do a low turn, which makes you accelerate towards the ground, and then you flare in such a manner with a small parachute that you skim right across the ground super fast and for a long ways. And I don't do that because it's dangerous, but I know people that do it, and I've known people that have nearly lost their legs. I've known a guy that was learning how to do swooping, and he did a low turn, and I think he crushed his pelvis and both femurs, and broke both feet and ankles, and so he had to sit out the next jump. So
Okay.
also, when I was a student and I didn't really know many people at the drop zone, there was an incident where a guy died because he was doing a low turn on landing and he hit the ground because his parachute didn't have time to re-level itself before he went to flare. So these are risks that I don't take because I'm a conservative jumper,
Okay.
and I'm good at communicating with people. So there's that.
Do you feel like you have relationships that you need to keep alive outside of parachuting? Is that a reason that you are more conservative with your parachuting, or why do you find yourself more conservative?
Well, I guess to reflect some phrasing that I hear from people, they say, what you do means you must have a death wish. And I would counter that by saying, oh no, to the contrary, what I do shows that I have a life wish, to live an exciting life to the fullest, while taking, calculated risks.
Mm-hmm.
We manage our risks and we exercise safety as much as we can.
Okay.
So I do value life considerably outside of jumping, and there are people who, prefer me alive than dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got that going for me.
That's a good thing to have going for you. I feel like that's important in a extreme sport, as some might call skydiving.
So I try to keep it safe, and it's helpful to have someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Within the industry, a lot of the stuff makes more sense. We see how safe we're trying to be, and we see how people go up and come back down successfully over and over. And we read about the rarity of incidents, even compared to other sports.
Yeah.
It's not statistically more dangerous. It has the perception of being considerably so, but not necessarily in reality.
So it's more those few that are taking more risk than everyone else that get the bad name?
Yeah. Plus the fact that you're jumping out of an airplane and falling through the sky, gives it a bad name.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can schedule another appointment.
Yeah, well, do these feelings make you uncomfortable to talk about, or is it just difficult to talk about overall?
No, I like talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel good about this, and I'm glad you provided me with a safe place, and you listened carefully to what I had to say and didn't judge me for my interest in falling.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for your time today. Stay safe out there.